What's up, my friends? It's Rachel, and today I want to make a Halloween ephemera holder. And so I'm going to show you everything I want to use to make it. This is the one I made before. I used double-sided paper for this one, and I love it. I absolutely love being able to pull things from it. And stuff. So I'm kind of looking over it and trying to decide how I want to do the pages. And I decided to do my pockets a little bit shorter for this one. And I'm not sure still how I feel about it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the book I'm going to be using. It's a vintage book called The Loser's End. And this book's already fallen apart. The pages in it are really kind of delicate, so not sure how much I'll be able to use the pages for other stuff. And so I've got my vellum out here. I've got some pattern vellum that I found at Ollie's and some other vellum I got at Hobby Lobby. I also love Michael's vellum too. You need like the sturdy kind of vellum, like don't use tracing paper for this or whatever. So this printable that I'm looking at is from Bontic Vintage Designs. I'm going to use that pumpkin there for the cover, and we'll take a look at all these printables here in a second, but I will have all of the Etsy shops linked down below for these gorgeous printables. I got a lot of these printable ideas from Pink Oddbird here on YouTube. Just recently found her channel. I'm kind of showing you my die cuts. Oh, look at these. I got my Halloween die cuts organized. Can you believe it? I've been getting my stuff organized. So I have a giant one here for Halloween, one for Christmas. One of you suggested getting these vent covers from Lowe's or Home Depot, Menards, and cutting them down. And so I cut them down to fit this big plastic envelope. I used two because the other side of it is like coated white. And then the cutoffs from those I used in my smaller 4x6. Okay, so here's the fabric. Both of those are fat quarters from Dollar Tree, and that's the one I want to use for the outside of this journal. It's so cute, and like I said before, like I plan on doing a vintage style Halloween junk journal, and so I really wanted to do like a cute Halloween stuff for this. That green cat one I use for the inside for my head and spine. Alright, so this is the paper pad I'm going to use. This is like a Halloween something party from Michael's. It's Recollections, and this paper pad isn't the greatest. It's just not. It's single-sided, but it just, I don't know. I'm just not that much of a fan of it. But it's cute, and I think it worked out really well for this little ephemera holder. And if I keep saying journal, I don't mean journal, I mean ephemera holder. Okay, so these dictionary printables, I think from Calico something on Etsy, I love them. They look so cool. So there were 3 pages on that. These words, they look like domino tiles almost. Those are from Tsunami Rose. Oh my gosh, I love those too. That's from Graphics Fairy. And I kind of talk a little bit about some of these at the end here. And then these are all from Release the Craftin', which is like my favorite Etsy name ever. So funny. Okay, that one is kind of a Christmassy, spooky one. And so I think I want to save that one to use in my Nightmare Before Christmas junk journal. That I made that last year, and like I still haven't done too much with it. So now I'm going to go through and show you all of the pages that came with the I can't remember which kit this is from Anton, who's a friend of the channel, and Bontic Vintage Designs there on Etsy. I like the page layouts for these, and the cool images. So I ended up printing some of them a little too small when we sent them over, and so I did reprint some of them bigger. So I have some of the like smaller ephemera things resized. So I have two different whatever. I printed them out a couple times is basically what I'm trying to get out. I love the round images too. Aren't they cool? Definitely check out that Etsy shop. There's some of them in there that were like really cool, like witchy vibes. Some of them were just too creepy for me. Isn't that funny? I love Halloween and spooky stuff and a little bit of creepy, but I don't like a lot of creepy. Sorry, I needed a drink. I've got my iced coffee here. So the first thing I did was take out all of those pages, and I used Eileen's tacky glue for this part, and what I'm doing is putting down some paper tape I got from Amazon that is not the greatest. I'm not even going to link it. I don't like having to reinforce it with more glue because it's just not sticky enough, but I don't want to waste it, so I'll have it forever. Probably. So I'm just reinforcing the spine because there was a rip in it, and it's like I said, it's falling apart. So what I do is measure the spine there so I know how big to make my little cardboard piece for the hidden spine that I'm going to do. And I just use chipboard from the back of like a watercolor tablet to make that, which is what I'm doing here. I'm applying Eileen's tacky glue to it, and I kind of have been liking using that better than Fabri-Tac because this dries clear, and when you use Fabri-Tac it gives that like dried wet look to stuff, which I don't like. So I'm just going to glue down this this piece of cardboard to the back of the fabric. I really have been liking doing these like hidden spine kind of things. It's not technically, I guess, hidden because I have the fabric glued on top of the page in the book, and normally you would like put that down and put the paper on top, but I kind of like the look of the paper or the fabric on top of it, so I'm just going to glue these down to the front and back pages, front and back covers. I also wanted to say too, I got this idea for these ephemera holders from Rachel over at Roxy's Creations. I will have their channel linked down below. So I'm just going to get those glued on and give everything kind of a chance to dry. And then then I'm going to check to make sure that this fits okay, because I did have to trim down that cardboard piece before I glued it again. So now I'm going to get all of my pages done. So I have them trimmed down, and like I will kind of explain at the end, I made my pages a little too small. I'm not sure why. I could have made them probably about half an inch bigger, maybe. And everything fits in the book well. I just kind of trimmed them a little or measured too short. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the book too much because I do the pockets for the bigger stuff kind of differently in the back, and I will show you. I keep saying I'll show you at the end, but it's kind of hard to show you while I'm making it. So on the other ephemera holders, I did 2 pages per signature, and I decided to do 3 pages per signature for this, and I think it works out pretty well. I've got tons of room to expand with some stuff. So I've got all my little vellum pieces cut. This is the biggest pain in the tuchus part of this project, is cutting, not necessarily cutting the vellum, but putting the score tape on the vellum. I do not like using glue on vellum. It curls, it smashes and squishes, and the score tape, I was worried that things would get caught to like the ephemera in the pocket, kind of like when you use like a glue runner thing, but stuff doesn't get caught on it. It works really well. It's 1/8 inch scored tape. You can find it on Amazon. I'll try to have that linked down below. So I kind of just showed, I think, the first couple pockets, but I do vary the height of where I put the pockets on the pages, and I'll kind of show you at the end my thought process about how I did the pockets differently, and how I leave them kind of open in the back for the other stuff. So now I'm going to put the fabric on the outside, and you don't have to do this, but like I said, this book kind of needed a little bit more reinforcement, and plus it just looks freaking cool. I mean, it really does. So I'm using matte Mod Podge on this and just putting my fabric down. This fabric is so cute. I absolutely love the fat quarters from Dollar Tree for fall, Halloween, and Christmas. They're so cute. I think last year they had like a mushroom and gnome one. It was absolutely adorable. So I put Mod Podge down, put the fabric down, and then I do a layer of Mod Podge on the top and just kind of check it and make sure everything is in there okay. And I like to get everything kind of glued in the book part and just let it dry. So once this is dry, we're going to sew in the signatures. Now, if you've followed me for any amount of time, you know sewing in the signatures is my absolute least favorite part, because it's like you need an additional couple hands, and I actually do it wrong here. So I'm doing the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and then I went back in the middle when I should have went to the end. I finally figured out what I did and went back through it, but I've seen people too go through each part twice, which kind of makes it a little bit difficult to tighten everything, but I think it it's fine. Do I think that's necessary? I really don't think so. I guess to each his own. Like, I don't know. So I finally got those things done. What a pain in the butt. So at this point, I actually ran out of room on my iPad to show me gluing this in and finishing off the journal. So I will go ahead and show you it completed. Okay, I have got my Halloween ephemera holder done. I've got it done. I've got it decorated. I got a bunch of stuff in it. So let's take a look at everything. I got the outside decorated with one of the Bontic Vintage designs. This pumpkin is so cute. And then the Let's Get Spooky. It's a sticker from Joanne Fabrics. And I did add metal book corners on this just because this cover had really bent corners on it. And one of them was pretty bent. So I just kind of wanted to make sure I put those on. I wanted to see how it looked. And I love this little kitty, so cute. Okay, so let's take a look at it. I have some things I think I would have done definitely different. Maybe, I'm not sure. So far, everything works out, but I will show you kind of what I'm talking about. So the inside, I decided not to decorate the inside covers like I did with the other ones I made, because I just kind of didn't want to, and I used that paper to kind of decorate with, you know what I mean? So maybe I'll add something later, maybe I won't. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this green fabric. It really doesn't match the rest of this stuff, but I really wanted to use it because it's just so cute, and I hadn't really had a project planned for this fabric yet. Anyway, so let's talk about kind of what the first thing you're kind of seeing. I'm not sure if I made my little pockets too short. These pockets I have absolutely loaded down with stuff. So things are kind of moving around, which kind of isn't really what you want when you're kind of doing something like this. You kind of want things like, you know, flat, flush, you know, so they're not sliding around too much. But this is going to be on my desk. when I'm Halloween crafting and stuff. And so it's not going to be moved around too much. And then I'll be using from it. So it's not going to be super full. But this is what I was thinking when I made this, is that I made the pockets too tall. So I made these like 1 1/8 inches tall. And this honestly is too short. It's too short, and the problem that I have is that things kind of fold down a little bit. I think if my pockets weren't so loaded down, I really wouldn't have the problem with folding down as much, you know what I'm saying? So that's something to think about if you're making this book or making something like this for holding ephemera. If you know what's going to go in it, you can kind of base that on your pockets. But like, don't make... I saw someone make one of these and they put a bunch of small things in a tall pocket and couldn't get it out and was frustrated with it. It wasn't working for them. And I'm like, well, you can't put tiny things in a tall pocket with vellum because it's flush. There's no gusset to the pockets to make it, able to hold more. That's why, like, these are just so loaded down and they move around too much. So kind of have that in mind when you're making these pockets. You can load them down to a point, but like, you're going to have some movement of your things and they may kind of hang down and you may get folded when you open your book. Just something to think about. I think I should have made these pockets maybe 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches would be up here. And I definitely think that would help. But we'll see. I've just made this to use for Halloween and stuff like that. So you can kind of pull these off if you whatever. But when you burnish that score tape, man, it is down. It's down for life. Maybe not life, but you know what I'm saying. So I wanted to say too, all of these printables I will have linked. I will have the Etsy shops linked down below. So this is Tsunami Rose. This one is Calico Crafts. Since I cut them apart now, I don't know for sure on the label on that one. So yeah, I hate fussy cuttings. So you're going to see some white stuff on some of the fussy cut stuff. It'll get trimmed down when I go to use it some more. I just didn't feel like super fine trimming like 100 of these labels. I just didn't feel like it. I wanted to get them done and in here. So here's some of the Bontic vintage designs. Make sure you check out his Etsy shop. Anton is a friend of the channel, and the printables in there are just so pretty. I got this Halloween one. There's other Halloween or witch ones, and I got a fall set, and they're absolutely gorgeous. I love the shape of the ephemera and stuff, and the cutouts, and you'll see some of the bigger cutouts later. I love this little kitty cat. So yeah, so this front part here has a lot of the shorter stuff in it, so that's why I put the pockets where I have. And so this page, I decided to do one of the pockets up a little higher so I can have some of these that actually fit in the pockets, and that'll make more sense here in the back that I'll show you. So I also wanted to have this thing done to have a safer place to put my die cuts when I do them. So I want to sit down and I'll have to have my husband help me make a bunch of die cuts for this. So I have them just ready. Like, sometimes I don't want to stop and do a die cut and then do it. I know there's certain ones I want to use. I want to have some of them done. So that's what my plan is. So like these, when I have the journal, I keep saying journal, that's not what I mean, holder, standing up, these kind of come down a little bit. So that's kind of what I mean by having a little bit taller pockets, so that kind of keeps that from not happening. And plus these aren't loaded down too bad. They're just kind of tall. So on this side I have some taller things in this bottom pocket, and then these labels. This is from Graphics Fairy. Graphics Fairy, you can get free printables on there, okay? I saw that they uploaded the Halloween image one on the website, and it's like 400 images. You can download those, put them in Word, and resize them in there. That's usually what I do when I get some stuff from Graphics Fairy and then print them. I do pay for their premium membership, which will get you printables made, you know, and it's like whatever fee. I can't remember what it is every month. I love it. I need to use it more than I do, but I have a really crappy printer. That's why some of the coloring is off on these and these. My printer is just terrible. These, the Bontic Vintage ones, were professionally printed, so they look so much better. Okay, and then here's the end of the first signature. So I have some bats that I cut out of a mammals book I got at Ollie's, and then just a couple things I've been saving. These are from Release the Craftin' again, and so some of these pages are the same, like where the pockets are, and then these are the ones that are different. So I had, first of all, first thing I did not make these pages big enough, like the actual big pages, didn't make them big enough. When I went to trim down the inside one so they kind of line up, I think I trimmed just, I don't know, maybe I trimmed too much off, maybe I just kind of under measured how big these would be. And so, yeah, so there's that. But I knew these images wouldn't fit in that anyway. So I planned these pockets to where this piece of vellum only has score tape on the left and on the bottom. So these slide in. So I can put bigger things in here and have it. Because I wanted to keep like that collection all together. So then on the left side, I just have the pockets like they were in the front. Kiki. Same thing here. And I do that for the rest of the pages. And then I vary the height of these pockets back here. And then these are the biggest ones I put on in the back one. And then there's still some pockets there. And so, you know, this really isn't totally meant for travel, obviously. This is meant for me to have sitting here on my desk to use when I'm doing my Halloween junk journal, which there's Halloween stuff everywhere because I kind of stopped making my Halloween junk journal to make this, so everything was just a little bit more organized, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm so excited to use it. I've absolutely been enjoying using these other ones. So like this one has all of my animals in it. The other one has all of my like flower stuff in it. And then I want to make another one for all the tags because I got a bunch of tag printables professionally printed too. So they actually look good. But anyway, I hope you like seeing how I made this. If you have any questions about it, let me know. And yeah, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!